Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on Nerdy Talk do not reflect those of Anime Herald. Due to strong language, listener discretion is advised. Now sit back and enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to Nerdy Talk, where it's National Podcast Day every day. I'm Mike Ferreira and I'm joined by Lydia Rivers, LB Bryant, Matt Brown, and Anthony Simpson.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
I just want to point out that he got through that in only one take this time.
It's a miracle!
Oh, it's a Christmas miracle.
I knew something wasn't right.
We should start over.
Must be you, Matt.
I know, it's not the same with me cursing up a storm and restarting 3 or 4 times.
I don't know what to do. I feel so off balance.
Before we begin, I'd just like to kind of talk about something that happened recently. Last month, Anime News Network was taken down by a pretty large-scale cyber attack, if you remember. Last night was our turn as of this recording. It is September 30th. At about 4:30 in the morning Eastern Time, I received a notice that said that the site was pretty much down, unresponsive. Logging in, I found that things were seemingly workable, so I managed to get things restarted. At about 8:30, I got another text saying that it was down again. Logging in, I found that someone had managed to get root access to our server and basically just trashed the place. The entire system, the server configurations, database configurations, everything was just absolutely obliterated, replaced with profane messages and things like that. Thankfully, we were able to recover, but I will say this, whoever did this, I hate you and fuck you. Alright, now let's get on to the show.
Okay. On that happy note.
So, I guess we'll start off with the big one this month. On September 14th, we learned that the rights to Super Dimension Fortress Macross, the entire franchise, are finally expiring in 2021. In California District Court, through arbitration, it was ruled that Tatsunoko Production can terminate the license as of March 20th, I want to say, 2021. Basically, this has been one of those biggest third rail issues in anime fandom, mostly because Macross has just completely been a non-factor in the West, despite the fact that it's immensely popular. It's one of those biggest prestige shows in Japan, and it has this rabid following. But despite that, no core Macross titles in recent years have been able to get a Western release, which include Macross Frontier, Macross Delta, and quite a few others. So I want to definitely bring this one up for a discussion, mostly because this is a huge topic, something that's just been really massive, actually, and I felt that it deserved a bigger discussion.
Did anyone hear Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead when they saw that headline?
I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the news when I was at work. I think I scared my coworker.
Yeah, I think I was at work too when that came out. I was just really happy to hear that. 2021 can't get here soon enough.
Me too. You know, I don't know why, but this is one of the few mech anime that I've ever been able to get into, and I've read all of the books, and I'm partially rabid. I don't know everything there is to know about the series, but definitely seeing the end to this saga, this stupid legal saga, is exciting.
Agreed. Actually, what I found interesting, though, was that contrary to a lot of fan opinions, this was actually a rights agreement that was just rotely extended over 30 years. Like, every time the license came up, Tatsunoko just signed off on it through 1998.
Yeah, I got the feeling from reading your piece that they didn't have good legal advice to review it or something. It sounds like they gave away a lot.
Oh yeah,
that wouldn't normally happen.
Oh yeah, Harmony Gold got a sweetheart deal. Basically, they only royalties that would come out were through toys and merchandise. So any home videos, any streaming, any TV broadcasts, anything that wasn't a toy or a piece of merchandise did not give a royalty back to Harmony Gold, which is unheard of. They basically had it was by all rights their own property in a lot of ways, like they were treating it like it was their own, and yeah, they could get away with murder pretty much.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. They would just keep signing off on it. It's like it almost feels like they just didn't give a shit and just said okay. It's every time the contract came up, they just kept signing it.
It does debunk one of those popular fan theories that kind of circulated for years and years, where Harmony Gold was, according to these old conversations, they were acting with impunity because they were just going in the face of Tatsunoko. No, they had the license to do that because Tatsunoko just didn't give a shit.
Which is odd, being it's one of their like huge properties. I mean, I could see if it was like some, third-rate show no one gave a shit about. I could see like, okay, just kind of treating it as it was. But something like this that is, such a franchise, fan favorite franchise, it's something that had a long and storied history, that they would treat it like this is just, to me, seems kind of baffling.
Yeah.
I think, something bothers me about it still, though. It's like they couldn't have had the best of working relationships, because Harmony Gold was, toward the end, was basically just using their license to prevent anybody else from picking up a Macross title. They weren't doing anything with it. They weren't asking for the material, any of that stuff.
They pulled a fox on it.
Well said.
Yeah.
So I think now the real question is, let's say, okay, so once this expires, which I checked it from at least what the article you wrote, Mike, said was March 14th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his real question is what happens next? Are we going to see people try to go after it, or is it going to be one of those things that's going to be stuck in licensing hell for more time?
From what I understand, there's a lot of interest from Studio Nue, or however you pronounce it, to get this out in the West. Shoji Kawamori wants this to be released in the West, so I would not be shocked if we are already having some conversations about that in the industry. Like,
yay!
This is going to be one of those tales like when Sailor Moon got relicensed. It's going to be a very expensive property, but it's going to be one that is incredibly huge for prestige.
This is where I'm kind of thinking about this. Are we going to see this where it's sort of and there's other concerns I think that we has to go into, because I know like with Macross 7, isn't that like real music heavy? Because I've only seen just the original Macross. I haven't seen any other. Or no, I saw Macross 0, and I saw the original Macross, but I haven't seen any of the other.
7 does have a substantial amount of music, yes.
Yeah, that's one I was thinking about could be tricky because of all those music rights.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was, are we going to see something like, maybe see something like the way Gundam is, where they just sort of license it, how I put it, like with Gundam Sunrise sort of license it, but Nozomi's the one doing or the right stuff's just doing the handling of the releases. I wonder if we're going to see something like that here, where it's just, the studio just released it itself, but then somebody else is just sort of the one doing the pushing the moving the product.
Well, how would a reboot work though? If they did a reboot,
I don't know. Or is it going to? Or sorry, go ahead.
I mean, music features so heavily in the story; it's a major plot mechanism. So it needs to have attention given to it, I think, in order to remain faithful.
True.
In my opinion.
But then the other thing is, I wonder if it's going to be a case where it's going to be whoever gets it gets everything, or if it's going to be where it gets, if they're going to try to slice it up and try to get as many different licensing companies over here try to get their hands on it.
That's a good question. I mean, as of right now, we just don't know, like, it's completely up in the air. And I think that's what scares me the most because it's just the straight up uncertainty.
Right.
Tatsunoko now apparently has a manager that cared enough to do an audit. So that's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do fully expect to see it in the West by 2022 at the very latest, because this is something where there's a lot of hunger on both sides of the Pacific to get it. I expect it to be a very bloody, very expensive license. You'll probably see. I'm just gonna take a couple swings in the park here. I'll probably be wrong thanks to the good old magic of crazy talk, but anyway, I see Funimation, who is now backed by Sony by then. I see Viz Media, who is a tri-company conglomerate. And I'm trying to think, those would probably be the two big ones I can see going for, unless they go publisher self-release. Because, I mean, this is going to be something where you're looking probably in the high six figures to just get the license.
Yeah. Or I was mentioning earlier, do something all like Gundam, how like Sunrise is, release it here themselves, but Rise Stuff's just doing they're just sort of basically put out they're sort of just moving at the last mile. They're just putting out the release, the physical release.
Just as long as whoever puts it out doesn't put out fucking singles. I'm looking at you, Pony Can USA. You know what you do.
My gosh.
Assuming they're still in business by then.
Yeah, no.
Well, thankfully, I think Ponycan doesn't own the music, any of the music. I'm trying to think, like, I wonder who, which labels did most of the music. I really have not kept up with that.
I want to say
I'm sure a lot of it is Victor, but
I want to say Avex and Victor are your two big ones.
Yeah.
But
So that could whoever has the best relationships with those labels might have an edge in the licensing.
True.
were Seiyu labels a thing when it was recorded? Because I know sometimes their own studios retain the rights to some of those things too, complicating the issue further.
I have no clue. I don't believe many of them do have did work through a Seiyu label. So I think a lot of it is mostly just the big boys in Japan,
Okay.
like Victor, Avex, or whoever else.
Well, To Be in Love was was one of the hilarious songs we sang to each other in high school. So just random. We had random Macross song karaoke things in the cafeteria. And we were giant nerds and had no shame. And it was great.
What shame?
So, there is no shame. None.
Ah, man, I am definitely curious seeing how this plays out, though. Like, just this is one of those exciting things that only happens once in a generation. Granted,
Yes.
most of it was self-inflicted by stupid business deals, but anyway.
Yeah, it really is remarkable how stupid that deal was. They're much more careful now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I just going through some of the obvious things that could have gone wrong and wondering, like, was there bad translation? Was there a lack of legal counsel? What?
I don't know. I mean, honestly,
Were they drunk? Like, what?
Maybe it was just sheer indifference, or maybe just gross competent management. I don't know.
It could have just been the time too. I mean, when they first licensed, it was the '80s. I mean,
Yeah.
anime licenses were cheap back then because it wasn't a thing here.
No, I mean that's true. I mean that's
So lack of foresight then? But they kept extending it and they didn't
Yeah.
have to, right? So
Right.
that goes back to maybe my point. Maybe just bad management.
And
You know, maybe they had a manager who just kept signing off, and maybe they didn't give a shit. They're just like, okay.
It could have also been the 1998 agreement where, excuse me, where Tatsunoko basically employed Harmony Gold to police a property across the world too, because they were the 98 deal came in the wake of the now infamous the Big West lawsuit. Basically, the Big West deal was lawsuit. They couldn't use any of the original Macross characters anymore because, well, Big West and the studio knew it won. So they basically hired on Harmony Gold to kind of police the brand after that point, which, as we saw, was a disaster.
yes.
What's really funny is we actually did get some Macross in the years before that. We had Macross Plus, Macross 2, Macross... Macross... Was it Macross 7 that we got too?
No, we never got Macross 7. That one, I think, is going to be a tricky one simply just because of all the music the music involved.
I'm trying to think of the third one. I always forget it, but
I think Frontier had a lot of music too. I'm not sure how big of an issue that'll be, really.
Yeah, but wasn't a lot of that done by the voice actresses too, though?
Yes, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know with 7 it was, and then they also, I think, used some stuff with from the Macross Plus and Macross 2, I believe.
Yeah, in further iterations, Minmay's music became classics. So they made a point in the narrative of hearing the classics on the radio or in background scenes as flavor. Continuity flavor.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. Just as long as they don't do what Funimation did with Kodocha.
What's that?
This is going back quite a few years. I want to say 2003, 2004. Funimation managed to pick up the rights to a fan sub darling called Kodomo no Omocha, or Kodocha for short. The series had a very, very heavy use of music by a group called Tokyo. Particularly the opening song, which was, I want to say 5 o'clock news, Jukuji no Newsy, or something like that. But anyway, the rights to the song were completely separate from the rights to the TV show. They could not get the music rights for the song or the use of the band. So unfortunately, they had to bleep out any appearance of the band members. They had to kill out any music, and they couldn't use any of the scenes that people kind of started to associate with the show through the fan sub run. So it's almost unsettling in how weird it is after watching on tape for how many years.
That is unfortunate. I will be so sad if that happens. Oh my gosh. Without music, the story falls down. It's that important.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that this is a company, whoever gets it, has some very deep pockets.
Sony Funimation.
Which is kind of funny. I was looking, although they not a shareholder anymore. Sony Music of Japan used to actually be a shareholder for Avex years ago. Now, I mean, they're not anymore. They haven't been for some time, but they used to be a shareholder for them some time ago. Which I know is separate from Sony Entertainment that bought Sony TV that bought Funimation, but just sort of random food for thought there.
Still an interesting fact, though.
Yes.
All right, our next topic comes from the studio that brought us the Ghost in the Shell movie. Yeah, I had to go there. Earlier this week, the Hollywood Reporter broke the news that Paramount and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot production company are collaborating on a Hollywood adaptation of Your Name. Abrams, along with Lindsay Weber and original anime producer Genki Kawamura, are going to be producing, while Academy Award-winning scriptwriter Eric Heiserer is going to be writing a script. Considering that Your Name is pretty much the new hotness for anime movies, it's the highest grossing across the globe, second highest grossing in Japan, just behind Spirited Away. I mean, this thing was a cultural phenomenon and a fandom phenomenon. So to see this is pretty interesting. I figured it'd be something we could bring up for discussion.
This means I'm gonna have to watch this damn movie, aren't I?
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna have my hot take here for this. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Because I'll start. I haven't seen Your Name yet, but from what I've been told about it by others that have seen it, I'm not really sure how this could work. Mainly because at least somebody who's another podcast that I listened to, they were mentioning when the news broke of this, they were mentioning in Funimation's Discord chat that they have that their big concern was that Shintoism plays heavily in Your Name, and well, that's not something that's really a thing here in the United States. So I'm just kind of concerned how you're going to be able to translate something like that, which it seems to be pretty heavily Japanese, into something that was into a Western film. I just don't really see how it could work unless you just they just set everything in Japan and keep it there. Which if they do, I'll give J.J. Abrams credit, but I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see this being a movie with any Japanese leads at all. Let's be honest.
I mean, best case scenario, this dies in development hell, and then everybody's happy.
Worst case is going to become a film that's completely different from what people are expecting, and it's either going to be very good or very bad. Honestly, there is some real talent behind it. They have a good writer. They have a good production team behind it. So there is a spark of potential. I'm not going to throw this baby out with the bathwater yet just because it's a Western adaptation. I mean, there are things it could do right. But at the same time, I'm also bracing myself for another Ghost in the Shell movie where they managed to get a lot of the visual aspects, but they completely lost everything else about it.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit of the opposition in this. I'm actually really interested to see what happens. I did have the initial knee-jerk reaction of any anime fan, which is, no, they're doing what? But, this could be the first good live, the very first one, maybe. J.J. Abrams isn't perfect, but he has proven in the past that he can remain faithful to fandoms. So he did that with Force Awakens, and he did that with the first Star Trek. Not the second one with Khan, but so we'll see. I mean, he has experience with kind of out there movies, scientifically speaking, out there movies. So and with this particular screenwriter, I feel like it might be a good pairing.
I mean, I'm not like I know I say this. Sorry, no, I know I kind of was like, really, because there's other stuff that you could have done. It's just Hollywood doesn't have a great track record with this, and especially coming to people who aren't white, Hollywood isn't exactly great with that. Death Note. Plenty of history. Hollywood has a pretty bad history of whitewashing. That's kind of where my biggest concern is, that it's going to be like, hey, we got this character's Japanese sounding name. Hey, they're as white as I am. Well, wait, that's not right. I mean, things are, well, I would say things are improving, but things are starting to. I mean, wasn't it with Hellboy where the main lead said, yeah, I'm not doing this, and then they got somebody else? Or am I thinking of a different film? I'm thinking of a different film. Never mind. Ignore me.
I know that the live-action Aladdin is going to have a pretty much completely Middle Eastern cast, which is pretty huge.
Yeah. I mean, things are changing. It's just very slow, but I'm not one of those... Like, I'm sort of in the same boat with anime adaptations that I kind of see the same thing with, like, when Hollywood does video game adaptations, is that I eventually think somebody's going to get it right.
Yeah, I'm hoping now that the internet generations have buying power, I think we were starting to prove that we're capable of looking stuff up. Thank you, Google. And like even just the success of the Miyazaki films. His films are really Japanese too, obviously.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a dissuasion to, Disney fans.
No, well, no.
So
But,
maybe he'll keep the things that need to be kept.
Possibly, but it's Hollywood. It's run by old white men. They, they're. It's tough sometimes for people to get with the times. I mean,
my biggest hope is that it's just a good movie. I mean,
I want it to work too because I think if it's good. I mean, now I know there's some other things on the pike. Like it seems that SAO project's starting, kind of pick up some steam. And look, Cowboy Bebop's still kind of up in the air yet.
And Sony's still working on their own quote-unquote Robotech / Macross movie themselves.
Yeah. But this is one thing, though, I kind of want to bring this around to going back with Hollywood again. I just wish in the West, and I think maybe things are changing because of... I don't know why not changing because of anime, but I think the opinions are changing. That I wish that we would start to see more serious animated films or in TV shows. I know we're starting to see it with TV, but it's still kind of stuck on either kid stuff or comedy.
Yeah.
And I really would like to see that change and get,
Same.
serious or something. Because, people might could say what they want about anime, but they at least try to do something. I mean, they try to do something different. Look at the genres of anime. I know, there's comedy, and then there's, they don't serious stuff, but, we got dramas, and we got, romance, and we got,
Yeah, Pixar started that slowly, I think, and hopefully it will gather steam.
And that's what I want to see. Like, I don't want to necessarily see us be on par. I'd say it's at least, the animation I would only because at least to try different things because I keep people working, but I at least just want to see here something where it's more than just either a comedy show or kids stuff. It's just, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mike. It's just kind of, it's one of the extreme, and that's fine, but I'm kind of getting like a bit like, let's see something else.
Well, and I'd like to see anime that's not about high school kids.
That would be interesting.
We do get them. Okay, we do get them occasionally. So.
More drifters, God.
It's coming 20XX. So
yeah. Actually, there are 2 OVA episodes coming in the very near future.
Again, that's 20. Again, 20XX.
Yeah.
Internal fangirling.
I can't wait because that was such a good show.
I know my body's so ready for that.
I will do awful things for that show, and I mean awful things. I'll tell you now. I don't say this about many shows, but I would pay Aniplex of America prices for that show.
So would I. Oh yeah,
Same here.
It's so good. And
but back on topic here. No, I mean maybe this will get made, or maybe it'll just die in development hell. I think if it does. If J.J. Abrams is able to do it right, and I think it works, I'll call him shocked then. Not that I don't think J.J. Abrams is a bad director. And you're right, I think we do got some good people there, but, even sometimes even if you get good people, that doesn't always mean you're gonna turn out a good product.
I'm holding my judgment until we see our first. Not even the casting. I want to see our first set shots and our first trailer because.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this could be really good, or we could have another Death Note on our hands. And Death Note, I mean, I still know how they got our lead character there to scream like a goat.
I saved myself the torture. I'm not watching that.
I only, I don't know. I only watched the anime once. I thought it was interesting. I never wanted to watch it again, really. So I didn't watch it either. But I heard some really interesting things about it.
Well, I never watched the anime, so.
Oh, the movie was pure schlock.
Just like the live-action TV series, I did check out an episode of that, the Japanese-produced one, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to see live action done bad, whew.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait. The live action, you guys, the live action of Nodame is good. It's actually really cute and well done. I know you're shocked to hear me say that, but you should check it out. It's still on Crunchyroll, I think.
Nodame is awesome.
Yes.
I'll also add in the Japanese-produced live-action Ouran High School Host Club was just sickeningly cute.
Was it?
It was.
Where's that?
It's not available
No.
through any, particularly legal means.
Mhm.
But
So no one has a license? Okay.
Mhm.
nope.
All right. Interesting. I'm glad you told me that. I have some friends to update on that situation.
All right. Any other words on your name or?
None here.
All right. Well, I guess we can move right on along.
Oh wait! I'm sorry. Ah,
Okay.
it was late, but it got here. I just want to point out again that Shinkai Sensei himself is, quote, looking forward to the live action film with excited anticipation. So if he's that explicitly expressing support to see what happens with it, then I don't know. That made me kind of go, okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Got
this.
faith.
I think a lot of this pre-showing snark is kind of overblown at this point. I mean, yeah, we've been burned. We've been burned bad.
We are traumatized. We are.
But I mean, we're at that point where it's just too early to tell, you know?
Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to point out.
Right. Moving on. Another story earlier this week came out for niche favorite Kimono Friends. For those who don't know, this is an adorable slice of life show where that involves anthropomorphic animals and a human explorer. It's cute, it's adorable. It attracted this really rabid small fan base. Well, not small but big. Surprisingly big, to the point that they actually have a penguin in Japan that fell in love with a cutout of one of the penguin characters. It's a fun little story. But anyway, early this week on series director Tatsuki's birthday, he hit Twitter saying, "It's with great regret that I've been removed from Kimono Friends. This was a decision by Katakawa. I'm very disappointed and I apologize for the inconvenience." The very next day, Katakawa announced that Studio Yaoyorozu is no longer attached to the project either, and that they'd be restarting the Kimono Friends anime project pretty much from scratch going forward. So this does not happen very often at all. But the backlash has been immense, and it's something that definitely warrants a bit of discussion.
So I was a little confused what happened. One of somebody refused to communicate with the other, and they were like, "I can't work like this."
Yeah.
And
From what I understand, because the multi. Now I'm kind of standing in the middle because I know nothing about Kimono Friends. I have not seen this. I just know it's a thing, but so I'm not kind of trying to advocate for either side here. But from what I understand, Yayorozu and Tatsuki, as part of the agreement to produce the anime for Kimono Friends, were supposed to communicate ideas with the, with the production teams and all that to keep things going forward. And they didn't keep up with that. They kind of started doing their own thing and building things with a bit more freedom than Katakawa liked, and it got them antsy.
I just posted a link that might be of interest to people. You can link to it in the article when you post this podcast. But basically, someone wrote an 11-page paper breaking down every last little bit of this story.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it
is
really good.
It is very in depth. It is. If you are interested in this, it might be worth a read.
Yeah.
No, obviously not right this second, but unless you're listening to this, in which case, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll post a link in the show notes. Because, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of just in the middle here, because like I said, I haven't been in a fan base. I haven't been following this as closely as a lot of people, especially considering that yesterday our server literally exploded, so I didn't have time to kind of follow up on this one. But anyway, yeah. There's a lot here.
I haven't watched it either, but it is really rare to have such a public falling out between companies.
Oh, absolutely.
I was going to say this.
I can't remember the last time this happened.
This doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
I mean, I haven't watched the series, and I really don't tend to.
This actually makes me want to check it out and see what the big deal is about it.
Likewise.
I might down the road. Sometimes the stuff just gets real hyped up. I kind of back away for a bit, or just back away, because sometimes things get hyped up and then it leads to disappointment. So, plus this didn't really interest me, anyways. The series, not the story. Sorry.
You jerk. Gosh, Anthony.
I mean, I feel bad for the director and the studio losing it. I mean, I haven't read what LB's talking about. I haven't read, so I mean, I only just know from what it said so far. I mean, it's I kind of feel bad for the studio because that's work they're not going to have to do. And the director, because it's something obviously he was passionate about.
Although if the story is that they were refusing to take direction from the production committee, then maybe they're okay letting this go.
Probably. I mean, if that's, I mean, obviously we only just know what we're only just talking about what's been reported. So I mean, a lot of the minutiae of it, that's we're not privy to. If it's true they weren't listed as a production company, then obviously maybe you're right, Matt, that they didn't care about it.
Matt, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but you normally have interesting things to say when it comes to that. Taking instructions from each other. Yeah.
I probably made all that stuff up. You don't want to listen to me.
Okay. Fine. Just tell me what I want to listen to and what I don't.
But no, it's been a story in the anime world for a long time that it's almost like the anime production companies work for the manga companies and the merchandisers and TV studios and all that. Like my thing for a long time is I love it when I see an original production from an anime studio because they're finally taking some money home,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And sometimes a little independence from the authors is a good thing.
I mean, in a way, that's why I was kind of applauding the entry of, say, on Netflix into the arena, because they're at least commissioning original shows now. Like, they're not working to just do these light novel adaptations, manga adaptations. They're going to these companies saying, all right, show us what you got, here's some money to do it. I mean, they're actually giving some agency to the studios again.
Yeah. To my amateur eyes, it looks like they have, like, the Hollywood syndrome going on, where they only want to invest in things that have already proven to be popular. And the manga and light novel market is a great way to do that. And so they get stuck in this loop.
Mm.
And we end up with shows like Classroom of the Elite.
Oh yes, that wonderful masterpiece that I can't stop watching and raving about.
Hey, don't bring that trash into the podcast. We only talk about classics.
I was sorry. It was just perfect. I'm sorry to
That's
give you
okay.
bad taste. I was using it to make a point. Maybe I should have chosen something else.
No, that's fine. Michael could probably cut my comments out. We only watch classy things here.
Coming up next, I talk about Neo Yokio.
What a perfect segue. This doesn't happen often, does it?
When you really want to talk about trash.
Oh, man.
We have to jump on that. That was so good.
Oh, man. If you want to see trash, Neo Yokio is it. It's literally just... How do I describe this? It's basically like reading a live journal from some kid in the early 2000s made into an anime series. I am shitting you not. I mean,
we'll have comments about it.
Oh yeah, it's a show that is borderline incoherent. The voice acting is as bad as it gets. I mean, Jane Smith cannot act. I've seen better performances out of Garzy's Wing. Speaking of Guardians, there's a scene right in the first episode of Neo Yokio where it shows Jane Smith's character sitting there, completely sullen about his girlfriend leaving him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have to go get ready for the big field hockey game." He jumps on his fucking robot and flies away. I mean, it's...
Well, let's save it for discussion, Mike. We're going off topic.
Yeah,
we are on topic. This is a new topic.
Hey, wait a minute! I got a can of shoe polish. Open it up and start huffing the fumes.
Just you can slide in as soon as the conversation gets there. It's okay. You'll get your chance. Oh my god!
But I mean, that
was so good. The live journal is so true. I'm just gonna play on my robot, stupid girls.
And then it's so fucking stupid. I mean, you have this. There's a good 3-minute scene where it shows him blindfolded touching suits, and you hear his roar. It's like, I love how you shot for suits blindfolded. It works perfectly. And then there's this whole leaderboard in the middle of fucking New York with an actual elder basketball. It's complete fucking garbage.
Words will be said when we get to that.
Are we there? Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, no, because we never technically finished Kimono for the topic.
We
Sounds
haven't?
like words are being said now.
Yeah. It's moved on. Go ahead.
Okay, so
You're cool.
I watched 8 minutes of the show. That I will not say his name. That was enough for me because it was terrible. But yeah, I agree with Mike. It sounds like someone reading a live journal because I hear this. Like, this is like emo where I'd go somebody knock it the fuck off and walk away.
And the worst of it is there's no consistency in tone or anything like that. It just goes from one scene to the next. Like, this is a master
anime night.
Yes,
it's a clusterfuck.
This is a master class in how to make shit.
Well, okay, I'll give credit where credit's due. That Jaden Smith was able to get his dream to come true. That's some of us can't say that like me, but I'll at least give that's where the praises end. Because I watched 8 minutes of this and I'm like, I'm done. No loss. I stopped because I had better things to do.
I got to do I got through the first episode, and I was contemplating shutting it off when the robot said to Jaden Smith, "You look a little down. We'll buy you a big Toblerone later."
Yeah, it's funny. I was at the store today, and I almost wanted to go look.
There's gonna be so many great memes and gifs out of this. I can't wait.
I think there already are.
There are.
And Twitter's full of them, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
This is an anime that's gonna be so good to laugh at. My face hurts really bad.
Oh my god, it is. It's amazing in how awful it is. I mean, I have never seen anything like it. It's like a fucking car crash in slow motion.
With a little bit of sadness, a little bit of angst.
And the whole worst part is the whole first episode, they're trying to paint Jane Smith as a poor, pitiful meat character, and he's richer than pretty much all of us put together.
It's so tragic.
It's like it just keeps going and going. I can't stop watching it. Like it's amazing and how bad it is.
What other rich guy whines a lot?
Every rich guy. Well, the one in Junjo Romantica, which I'm reviewing right now, doesn't whine a lot. He's just a little rapey. Toblerone. Oh my god, it's starting.
Yep. Oh my god, yeah.
So this is a gift to Bad Anime Night and a gift to my GIF list.
I mean, this is let's be honest. This is a show that would never have been made if Jaden Smith wasn't famous. So I guess thank you Will Smith for giving fame to your kid when he turned 16.
Yeah, someone mentioned that this sounds like him reading his tweets on Twitter, and having watched only a little bit of it, I'm inclined to agree. Because the way he talks, at least from what I've seen of it, that people don't fucking talk like that.
No,
that is like Live Journal, Zanga. I can't even remember what that far back because I had stuff. I don't even remember anymore. Like Twitter conversation, like that stuff you would type there, the stuff that you would never, nobody in their right fucking mind would ever say in person. Because I never went through that emo period, but I'm looking at that, I'm like, I don't know anybody that ever fucking talked like that.
Oh man,
because no person does.
And he's not exaggerating either. I mean, at the end of the first episode, there's this big supposedly climactic battle, then that ends with this rescue and all that, and it like he saves a girl from drowning, and she just sits up. Hey, I saw you at that party. It was kind of awesome. I mean, I can't even describe this show. It is a magical pile of unicorn shit.
Oh my.
Yeah, not good unicorn shit, the bad unicorn shit.
Wait, it's a pile of rainbows? I'm confused.
Well,
rainbow plot.
No, it's not a pile of rainbows, it's just a pile of shit.
I don't know, some of the... Mike and I have the same taste for Bad Anime Night, as you could tell, because we can't stop laughing at this thing.
Oh god, yeah. I mean,
but it's magical. It's a magical kind of shit.
Oh man, it is. I mean, I started watching this thing right after I got our servers back online. I said, alright, I need to see how bad this is before we start talking about it. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I was more... Within the first 5 minutes, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck am I watching?
When it gets you to start talking to it in the first 5 minutes, it's gonna be good.
I would have watched it last night, but I was too mad after I came home from work to watch it, because if I did, I probably would have put my fist in my laptop.
Oh god, yeah. It's
So it made you mad, it didn't amuse you.
Well, it was just bad. Like, not bad in a fun way.
it's just, oh my god. Oh dear god, I don't know what this thing is, but it's something
It exists.
it's something that I need to torture people with now. I need to torture people with this thing. Like, this is going to be on the bad anime list right next to fucking Dark Side Blues.
I think I need to torture some of my callers with this.
Just loop on some of his dialogue.
And then, to make them feel better, offer them a Toblerone.
Oh, man.
Excellent.
There's no other word for this, though. It's...
There are no words.
Yeah, there are no words. I'm literally speechless right now trying to talk about this thing.
Yeah, it's if you've ever read or listened to any of Jaden Smith's stuff, so it's very faithful to his to his internal dialogue, which he is not shy about sharing with the world.
Let me ask.
Yeah, he's. I think I once jokingly, when he said about babies are smarter than adults or something, I said something along the lines on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, I bet he's too cool for school. And then I died a little inside for saying that.
And it is true that rich people have their own worries and their own tribulations. But it's just
yeah, but you don't sit there and say, you don't understand how awful my life is, and hop on a giant fucking robot and fly away. Like, without missing a beat. Yeah, I might be there. I'm a little down.
He stormed out on a robot, you guys.
Oh my god.
Now, if there's a way to have a fit and not deal with your problems, that is the way to go.
Yep. Oh, man.
Sitting out on a robot. Oh my gosh. Oh, my face hurts, you guys. What's next?
That's actually our last topic.
That's it.
Right.
Alright, good.
Alright, so yeah, we had words to say about Nia Yokio, and I still don't know what to say about this any further. It's a masterclass of awful. I mean, and I know awful, let's be honest. This is a masterclass of bad anime. So
No, I think I have the words now. I have the words now for.
Okay.
alright.
In the immortal words of the Iron Sheik, fuck. And yeah, basically just fuck this. Fuck the show.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. Don't watch this willingly unless you want to see it. You want to see the shrapnel flying. It is not a good show. It is one of the worst shows I've ever seen. But I mean, if you have to see the carnage, watch an episode, watch the carnage, then get the hell out.
And or this is also another option. Continue watching it and mine it for GIFs. And then upload them somewhere, Tumblr or Twitter, so that I can have access to them, please.
You know, I think I'm starting to question my life decisions now. After what little I've seen, I'm starting to really question my my choices in life.
Eat a Toblerone and you'll feel better.
This is a show that will be brilliant if you're high, but otherwise, it's absolute garbage.
or really, really shit face.
Well, yeah, high or drunk, let's be honest. Anime Herald does not endorse binge drinking or overdosing on drugs. Please drink responsibly.
Or sniffing glue.
Or sniffing glue or amphetamines, yes.
Or anything if it's gonna cause you that much pain.
Yeah.
But we do endorse you eating Toblerones. They're very delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy a Toblerone and enjoy the Toblerone.
No, we're not endorsed or paid by them at all.
Nope.
We would like your robot to hand it to us, though.
Yes. That magical flying robot needs to be a thing.
So
yeah,
that
that
now
thing that
I
looks
can
like that
start
thing that
now.
looks sort of like a Gundam knockoff.
Mm.
Wow.
Anyway, I think we should start wrapping up before we start just going off on this tangent again.
Yes, please.
Alright, so that's our show. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Till next time, buy a Toblerone, enjoy a Toblerone. This is Mike Ferreira signing off.
This is Anthony Simpson. Sayonara, bye bye.
I'm Lydia Rivers. Everyone stay shiny.
This is Matt Brown. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Have a great night, everybody.